Hey guys. Whew, I don't know what happened. My lighting is all weird in here. Trying to get it bright enough. But I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys, do a little live, and just see what everybody thought about the debate. I thought it was amazing. I thought hands down, Trump killed it. He did amazing. He was calm. He was composed. He stuck to facts. He didn't get, I don't know, petty. You know what I mean? But he still hit them hard. And I really, really like to see that. But I wanted to get on and talk to you guys about some of like your most favorite moments of the debate. Over with. Yeah, it is over with. It sure is over with. I actually had somebody like come in my comments on Instagram and tell me that Biden laid Trump out on the table. And I was just like, I don't know what debate you were watching, but it was quite the opposite. He rope-a-dope his ass. Yeah, he sure did. He sure did. I hope you mean Trump did, because Biden sure didn't. Biden was a disgrace. I think I was trying to like look at my phone here. The most questionable comment that he said was when he said we had a good relationship with Hitler. Like when Joe said, he said, did y'all catch that? When he said we had a good relationship with Hitler, I was like, are you kidding me? It was insane. It was insane. But I'm really glad to see that the laptop was brought up. Although, let me just say this about the moderator. Okay. I didn't hate the moderator as much as I thought I would. Okay. I thought she would do a much worse job than she did. I will say that when it came to talking about Joe's son Hunter, the laptop, the collusion, the bribery, she really tried to steer away. I mean, she herself did ask a question about it, but it was like a controlled answer, if that makes sense. But I really felt like in some sense she was told to steer the conversation away if it got there, which they knew it would get there. They knew it would get there. So, she kind of, that was the only part that I kind of feel she didn't do a good enough job as a moderator. But yeah, I mean, like when Trump, laid out that information, when he talked about who was the one that was building the cages, and they would not answer the question. They would not answer the question. I mean, I think it was asked like 10 times and they would not answer the question. So, and they know that the only thing Trump has done is he has enforced the laws that they have put out there. Okay. He hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything new, and I don't know if y'all watch, but Obama himself did a little like drive-in town hall. I don't know where it was. Maybe it was in Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh, but he did like some weak ass town hall. And he himself was talking about the kids at the border being left without their children. Trump is right. Okay. I have, family members that work in immigration. Okay. And these kids are coming across the border without their parents. Either they're being sold. Okay. Or they initially start out the journey with their parents and they get, separated prior to them even getting apprehended by border security or by ICE. Okay. So I don't understand why they keep questioning and blaming Trump for that, because it doesn't make sense. Like if you really knew your education about how far back those laws go, all the way back to Clinton, okay, you would know that Trump is not the one to blame. All he did was read the law that they set in place and decided he was going to enforce it. And that's it. And he gave, ICE and Border Patrol the thumbs up to do their job. That was it. Thank you, Jihan Jew. I love your show. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So yeah, what else really stood out to you guys about the debate? I'm curious to know, and is anybody on here that thinks that Joe did a good job? I really think he pretty much sealed the deal for Trump at this point. And although I don't think the numbers with the election are going to be accurate, I am really curious to see the like the way we say in Spanish, the paliza, okay, that Joe Biden is about to get with this election. That means basically he's going to get slapped. He's going to get ass whooping. They didn't say a word about peace in the Middle East. You know what else they didn't say a word about? Amy Coney Barrett confirmation. How many of y'all watched that today? I want to talk about that for a second. Yeah, Supreme Court thing. Okay, so if you guys didn't watch the Supreme Court nominations today for Amy Coney Barrett, Lord, okay, you have to go back and watch it. So the Democrats did not show up, okay? They protested the nomination, okay? But the joke was on them because Lindsey Graham went ahead with the voting process and pretty much all the Republicans voted yay for her or yes, and there were no Democrats to vote. Now, here's the problem that I have with that, okay? The problem that I have with that is that their job is to be the voice of the people that they represent, okay? They didn't show up for their job because they didn't like the candidate. They didn't like what they thought she stood for, okay? And they just decided to not show up. And you know what they did? In their seats, okay, where they would have been sitting, they put photographs, pictures of faces that they said, these are the people that are going to be harmed and affected if the Affordable Care Act gets done away with. Okay? Isn't that kind of ironic? Aren't those the same people that are going to be affected when you don't show up to do your job? Aren't they? It's crazy. In any other job, in any other world, okay? Hey, Dave, can you bring my charger that's plugged in by the stools? Sorry, for the laptop. Sorry, my battery's running low. In any other job, okay, you would be fired if you didn't show up for a big meeting. You'd be fired. Why does that not work like that in the government? Tell me that. Tell me why that doesn't work. I want to answer some of these questions. By the way, if you want me to shout out anybody or whatever, you can always do super chat as well. Or if you have a big question, I can answer that as well. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're always on vacation. You know, these people are always on vacation, okay? If it's not them. Or a recess. If it's not them, it's Nancy Pelosi's group. Sorry, guys, just a second. I got to figure out where to plug in my charger here. But yeah, I mean, it's a joke. They don't take their job seriously, okay? They don't do their job. And in the end, they lost. I mean, even let's be honest, okay? Even if they would have shown up, okay, it wouldn't have mattered because she would have gotten the majority of the votes anyways. So, you know what I mean? All they did was show their ass is what I say. Oh gosh, the lady who passed away was appointed in 40-something days when she became appointed. Oh yeah, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Well, who are you talking about? Yeah, politicians are so full of energy when they're campaigning and so apathetic once they're elected, okay? That is such a good point, okay? But let me tell you this. Pay attention to that, okay? This is what Trump has been saying all along. I think in Trump's first 150 days, he freed, his first, I think it wasn't Alice Johnson. There was somebody else before Alice Johnson, but he freed somebody who had spent a long time in jail under the First Step Act. That was the first thing he did. Okay? This is the thing with Trump. It's like, you may not like the guy personally, okay? But you can't argue the fact that he produces results, okay? And I challenge anybody to say that he doesn't. I challenge anybody. In fact, whenever I meet somebody, okay, who claims to not like Trump, and you ask them why they don't like Trump, they cannot give you an answer based on facts. All they give you is article headlines, news headlines, okay? But then when you start to ask them for facts around that, like, give me numbers, okay? They can't do it. They cannot do it. And then you start to hit them with, well, did you know this? Did you know that? They don't know because they're following these fake news sources that are giving them bad information. So it's incredible to me, you know, that people can sit there and really defend their choice to not like Trump or to not vote for Trump. And we're seeing it now. We're seeing people like 50 Cent, Ice Cube, okay? There were other people that just said, hey, Waka Flocka, another rapper. I don't know if you know him, okay? He's actually liked Trump for a long time. But if you're about your business and you're about your money, there's no way you can vote for Biden. There is no way. And I've had a lot of people reach out to me on the video that I did about the Biden tax plan because they didn't know the information that I shared about how, you know, it's not just going to affect people who make $400,000 a year. And I can explain that to you if you like, if you guys want to hear it. It's not just about that. There's a bigger picture there. But these Democrats run on a lie constantly. And they bet on the fact that their voter base is misinformed, that they believe whatever they're told without ever questioning, you know, well, wait a minute. They told me this. Is this what I saw? Is this what happened? You should question that, right? You should question that if you're told something, okay, because you're paying for these people to be in their position in your tax dollars, okay? So let me tell you, if you had somebody at your house doing work, okay, and you were paying them money, and you say, did you do this? Did you do that? And they say, oh, yeah, I did it. Or I'm going to do it. Don't worry. Have faith. I'm going to do it. And then it never gets done. Are you going to keep paying that person? Are you going to keep hiring them back for jobs? No. That's the same way you should look at your politicians. And that's what we love about Trump is he's not a politician. He is putting in place laws and policies that when he's done, you know, with office and goes back to his regular life as a businessman, that he's going to benefit from those things, that this country is going to be a better place because he's not a career politician. He's not a lifelong politician. So he could care less about feeding you with a bunch of BS because at the end of the day, he has to go back to being a regular guy somewhat. Let me see. President Trump is fighting not only for America, but for the whole world. He really is. He really, really is. You know what's crazy is I have a lot of people that follow me from Canada and from the UK, okay? And they say all the time, they wish they could vote in our election because they would vote for Trump. They're envious of the leadership that we have, okay? Envious. I never, ever have anybody come into my comments that lives outside of the United States and tells me that we're crazy for supporting Trump. They all agree because they see it, because they feel it. They're living in these socialist, you know, countries where they don't have the healthcare we have, where they don't get paid as much as we get paid to do our jobs, where they don't have all the benefits that we have. So they see it. That's why the people here that take that stuff for granted, you know, really need to take a step outside of their little box. And it's easy to tell when somebody is not well traveled or hasn't been anywhere outside the United States, because if they had been, they would know. They would know that. Let's see. Your support rocks. Trump 2020. Yeah. I like when Trump said, I ran for president because of you, Joe, and you, Obama, did a terrible job. Yeah. I mean, he says that all the time. He says, if you and Obama hadn't messed up the country, I wouldn't have even had an opportunity to be president. I wouldn't have even had an opportunity. And You know, here's the thing with Obama. He was a likable guy. He was. He was charismatic. You know, he was a good looking guy. I mean, he was somewhat good looking. I wouldn't look at him and be like, that's a good looking guy right there. But he was charismatic and people really like felt like he was down to earth. But that doesn't cut it when you're president. That doesn't cut it. You need to be a shark. You need to be, you know, just raw. And, you know, I need to feel like I'm in the best of hands. I'm not looking for you to be my friend. I'm not looking for you, you know, to have the personality of the year or to even say things the right way or to say things kindly. I could care less about that. I need you to do your job. Okay, that's all I care about. And the problem with Obama is he ran on kindness. He ran on hope and change. Okay, and everybody for sure was hoping and nothing changed. We can all say that now. Oh yeah, he's done more than he promised. I don't know if you guys saw, they did a, I don't remember what it was, but it was like a poll or a study or something like that. They took everything that Trump ran on when he was running for president initially and went down the list, okay, and like check mark, did he do this? Did he do this? Okay, he did everything on the list that he promised he would do, not during his presidency, but before he became president, and then some. And then some. He did more. Harris Biden 2020 hidden Trump voters. So I wonder how many hidden Trump voters are out there. I really think there's a lot. I really think there is a lot. What do you guys think? Yeah, he to tell you the truth, yeah, he hit the mark in less than 4 years. He really did. I mean, when you think about it, the stuff that he's doing now is stuff that we didn't even know he was going to do. And honestly, if he were to just stop and just be the president he's been and not do anymore, not sign anymore, you know, bills into legislation, I don't even think people would fault him. But he just keeps doing more. He just keeps adding. He acts like he already has the job for the next 4 years. He acts like his job is not coming to an end. You know, those people that like, you know, they gave their notice, their 2-week notice. In those last 2 weeks, they just kind of coast along. You know, they get real slackish about their job. He could be doing that, and he's not doing that. He's going even harder. Man, we got a lot of hidden Trump voters in here. I love it. Am I pro-life or pro-choice? I am pro-life. Okay. And I'll tell you the story. So when I was in college, I actually, I was a senior in high school and I got pregnant. And it was, you know, a mistake. Wasn't using protection. And I was foolish. And I thought, you know, the guy loves me. I'm going to tell him I'm pregnant and he's going to embrace me. And that's not what it was at all. In fact, he told me, I don't want to have anything to do with you. You're either going to give this baby up for adoption or you're going to get an abortion. So I got an abortion. It was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. And it wasn't pleasant at all. I mean, I was really far too young to even understand, you know, what I was choosing to do, but I chose it. You know, I take responsibility for it. And the worst part is I went back to him and got pregnant again. So that time I didn't have to make the choice. God chose for me and I ended up losing the pregnancy, but I have become pro-life over the years because I have, you know, had many friends that have tried to have babies and could not have babies. And once I had babies and realized how precious and how lucky I was to be able to have children after putting my body through that type of trauma, you know, I valued life more. And I realized that there's always another option. You know, that people should be responsible, that, you know, having sex is a responsibility. And, you know, I understand that some people, you know, terrible situations happen and they can get raped, you know, but still, you know, if you don't want that baby, if you feel like you couldn't possibly look at a baby that came from a rape your whole life, somewhere out there, there's somebody who wants that baby. There's somebody that wants, and there's so many families that are trying to have babies, and it's so hard. And, you know, they don't know the history. They don't have to know the history. So, you know, it's just, there's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for it. And it's sad, you know, the whole Planned Parenthood thing and how they strategically put Planned Parenthoods in, you know, Black neighborhoods, Latino neighborhoods, because they know that it's a problem in those communities. And they're basically offering these women an easy way out. So it's very, very sad. Oh, hey, Kara. How are you? Yeah, I have, you guys, I'm an open book. I have a lot of crazy stories about how I got to where I am today, that I'd be more than willing to share with you guys. So if you guys want to ask me questions about anything, we don't have to just talk about the debate, feel free. I was a miracle baby. I know how precious life is because of how hard it was for my parents to get pregnant with me. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Oh, very good point. Okay, so Doug Face Gremlin says, women's rights. What if the fetus is woman? Well, Doug, every fetus actually begins as a female. So technically, okay, every fetus is a woman. So that is a very interesting, let me show that comment because it got censored. That's a very interesting point. Every fetus actually biologically starts off female. So what is your age? I am 43 years old. 43. Do I think that Trump will win? Yes, I do. Do I fear election interference or voter fraud? That is a concern. But I feel like Trump is smart. I think that he has a plan in place. I mean, he's kind of been alluding to it, that he said, you know, if the election looks to be rigged, he's going to contest it. Now, I don't know what the process is, because, you know, they were talking about how that they're going to take like months after the election to count the ballot. I mean, does that mean the current president stays in place until that's done? I would think so. But I guarantee you Trump has a plan. That man is 20 steps ahead of everybody, and we don't even realize it. So I honestly think he's going to win by a huge victory landslide. Like, it's going to be unprecedented, to tell you the truth. I really think that that's what's going to happen. Thank you, Jane. I really, you know what? This is my thing. No matter how hard your life has been, no matter what terrible things you've gone through, you have gone through them for a reason. And no matter how hard it is to tell the story, to tell your story, you have to tell it, whether it's to free yourself of the pain of that story or the hold that story has over you, but to also hopefully free somebody else. My life changed when I began to be open and honest about some of the things that I had experienced. And also, you know, the very tragic, you know, situation, I don't want to say tragic, but the heartbreaking situation that I went through with my daughter, which you guys can go on my page and see the video about that. But she went through depression and suicide, and luckily she's still here. But, you know, that was a really tough moment in her life too. And I want to say that was like the real turning point in my life when that happened. Do you think, sorry guys, that if you're trying to get a question in here, the comments are kind of going fast for me. So you can either put it like in a super chat if you really want me to answer it. Do you think the people will go crazy if Trump wins, meaning Biden's people will try to burn down the cities? So somebody asked me that today, And here's what I think. I think two things, okay? I find it extremely interesting that lately, when I say lately, I feel like in the past couple weeks, if not the last month, okay, we've not had some big scandal or police shooting incident that has made people riot and go crazy, okay? I was really surprised today that the news of the third-degree murder charges that Derek Chauvin had on him for George Floyd's death have been dropped. I don't know if everybody heard that, but you would think it would be all over social media as impactful as that moment was, okay? Now, if Trump wins, I think there will be some people that will try to start trouble, but I feel like our law enforcement agencies that really, really back Trump for the most part, for the majority, will feel more empowered to step up and do their job and to protect our cities and to make sure that things are in place to keep us safe. Like I said, I think Trump plans ahead, he thinks ahead, and I think that he is going to have people in place in case stuff starts to pop off and people want to act crazy, okay? But I don't put it past them to do it. I really don't. Let's see here. Yeah, we got to pray. We got to pray for our president, y'all, because, you know, prayer is powerful and he really needs it. He really, really needs it. Okay, so somebody said, hey, he will win, but what I don't understand is why people call him a racist when so many Black Americans and Latinos love him. I talked about this today too. There is no way, if you really know Trump and you really look at everything that he's done, that you can honestly call him a racist. It's impossible. It's impossible. Okay, like when you look at everything he's done, if he was a true racist wouldn't do those things. True racist wouldn't let Black men and Black women out of jail. A true racist wouldn't put Black men, Black women, Latinos in power or in positions of power in the White House, in his administration, okay? I remember one time he was doing a press conference and there was a Black woman that I don't remember how it came about, but he pulled her up there to the front of the podium in the middle of the press conference and kind of gave her like a job interview and told her, you know what, if we can work out a good deal on your salary, you're hired. Would a true racist do that? Give me a break. Oh, man. So I agree. He's not a racist. And those people that have met him said that he is far from it. He is an amazing man. So, Pedro, you've got me crying with your daughter. Go watch the video. It's an amazing story. Has a great ending. You know, I put it up there for Suicide Awareness Month. I don't know how many people that are on here saw it, but it was a great story. You know, so there's always going to be evil around the world. Evil's always going to exist. It always has existed. It's never going to go away. Okay. But light always pushes dark out. So we all have to be the light. Okay. Even when you feel like things are in a terrible, you know, in despair, you feel hopeless, you know, we all have a choice to think about things the way we want to think about things. You know, I have a lot of people always write me in my DMs and they're just like, oh my gosh, I feel, you know, scared because I see all this stuff going on and you don't trust the media and you don't do this. Okay. But you have a choice to focus on what you want to focus on, and you have to focus on the good, and you have to focus that, you know, the good is always going to win over the evil. So yes, there's always going to be evil out there. There's always going to be, but we can't focus on that. We have to stay positive. We have to stay strong for our president, for ourselves. And also not rely on the government so much to tell us how we have to feel. I mean, I love Trump, okay, but my whole goal with keeping Trump in office is to have as little government as possible involved in things. As far as like my day-to-day, my health, you know, my healthcare, my religion, whether I'm wearing a mask or not, how I'm living my life. They shouldn't be involved. Who I'm going to bed with, okay? They shouldn't be involved, period. That's what I believe. Oh, Jan, okay, so my son committed suicide and we feel it is important that we not hide, but help others know how to walk through the darkest days. Man, so Jan, thank you for sharing that. And I'm sorry to hear that. Whew. I can't even imagine how you feel as a parent. I mean, I get to do a do-over. I get to see my daughter after all that. You don't, you know, and I can't imagine living with that question for the rest of your life of what could I have done differently? Sorry. What could I have done differently? Could I have changed things? Could I have helped him? Because those are all the questions that I asked in the beginning, and it was really hard. So my heart goes out to you and anybody else that has had to experience that, because it is really hard. And I'm sorry, don't mean to cry, but Jan can tell you it doesn't get any easier to talk about it, no matter how the situation ended up. But I thank God every day that my situation ended up the way it did, and we got a second chance, you know, because I know a lot of parents don't. Whew, y'all got me. Y'all love to make me cry on my Instagram live. Y'all love to make me cry. Okay. Sorry, I'm so close to the screen. I don't have my glasses on, and this light is blinding me. So he passed at 28 years old. Man, prime of your life right there. What happened with my daughter happened when she was 16. So I can't even imagine. Thank you, Jose. Yeah, P. Diddy talking. Again, I don't understand how you can be a businessman. P. Diddy has businesses. How are you hating on Trump? Same thing when I did that video about that interview with J-Lo and that J-Lo and A-Rod did with Biden. I was like, I really wasn't fully convinced that they were supporting Biden. I kind of feel like they did that for the paycheck, to tell you the honest truth. Because you've never seen them post anything about Biden before, you know? Oh, Pedro, you watched the video. Thank you so much. So going back to the Hunter Biden and Joe thing, I am extremely puzzled on why this is taking so long. Like, I don't know if you guys follow Rudy Giuliani on his YouTube channel. If you don't, I suggest that you do, because he did like a full rundown of the documents that they have on Hunter, the text messages that specifically are between him and Joe. Okay. I don't know how you can have all that and not be in jail the next day. Okay. Not federal prison, not be in federal prison the next day. I don't understand how Joe can still be running for president with all that going on. Like, that is a good example of where our justice system is flawed. Okay. That all that can happen, all that evidence can be there, and these guys are walking around free. I don't understand it. Unless there is some miraculous stuff happening in the background that we don't see, that just blows my mind. That blows my mind. Okay. If you and I, okay, when tax season comes around, you know, don't send that check to the IRS. They're going to be at our door in no time. Okay. They're going to be seizing our assets. They're going to be garnishing our paychecks. And if we don't pay that, we're going to go to jail. Okay. If I don't show up for a court date to pay a ticket, there's a warrant out for my arrest. Like, you tell me that your son did blow off the backside of a 14-year-old Chinese girl, has videos of him torturing her, and he's still walking around. What is that? Oh, man. Oh, Jan, you're breaking my heart. I thank you so much. I am. You know what? And I'm gonna hug her for you. Please tell me your son's name, by the way. Please, if you can give us all your son's name, I would love to pray for you and pray for him too. I'm sure he's in a better place now. How is my acting going? My acting is going well. So, you guys, let me tell you something. Being a conservative and an actress is not easy. Okay. I actually talked to Isaiah Washington. I'm friends with him. And, as you know, he was on Grey's Anatomy and, is a well-known conservative. And I mean, he's the first to tell you, like, he experienced blackballing in Hollywood like nobody's business. But it's hard. Like, I get a lot of auditions, but the problem is that these days, the first place they go to is your social media. So I'm sure the minute they see my social media, they're just like, it is what it is. I don't really care. And I told my agent that, like, I'm not going to make myself smaller for anybody else's comfort. I am who I am. You either love me or you hate me. I'm either qualified for the role or I'm not. So I have a lot of other things going on. That's why I started this YouTube channel. This is a source of income for me. So of course, like, I have my Patreon. I have, the super chats that I'm always grateful to receive. But this is my income. This is how I make my living. And this is how I can stay true to myself. And, of course, I love acting and I love that artistic side. But I much rather be me and not be somebody who has to pretend to be somebody else to make everybody else comfortable. I pray, that the TV and movie industry change, but it's been that way for a very long time. And there's a lot of people in it that think like me, but they don't talk about it. They do not talk about it. And I know that because I talk to people, that follow me on here all the time that, I've worked with on sets, but, their job is important to them. That's their income. That's their bread and butter. So, they're not going to put that at risk. And I respect that. But I am fortunate enough that I do not have to play that game if I don't want to. And I don't. I'm sorry. Did Jan give her son's name? Because if I missed it, I'm sorry. The comments are going kind of fast. Weston, is that his name, Kara? I saw you put the name Weston. Oh, Laura, you guys are so funny. You said, hope you got that steak for dinner. So you're referring to when I had to do that audition in my bathing suit? Okay, so let me tell you another funny story. So I didn't get that role. I didn't get that role. But you know what? I wasn't really excited about it because it's one thing to do an audition in your bathing suit in, the safety or the comfort of your own home. But then you have to imagine you're going to be on set in your bathing suit in front of like 30, 40 people. Okay. Telling you where to stand, how to look, picking the bathing suit out of your ass, adjusting your boobs so they don't look like pancakes in the bathing suit. So yeah, I really wasn't that excited. But then days later, my agent texts me and she's like, hey, you have an audition, but you have to dance for it. It's for like a Super Bowl type commercial or a football commercial. And they need you to do kind of like funny, comedic, just impromptu dance, like as if you were doing like a dance off. I had 30 minutes to, thank you, Pedro, for the super chat. I appreciate you so much. Love to you. I literally had to pull over because I was like driving around running errands. And I had to pull over, you guys, and stop in front of a garage, like a random garage. And I had like AirPods in my ear so I could listen to music, and I just had to dance. Okay. And I had my daughter giving me like a 10-minute like dance tutorial, like on the latest TikTok dances. Cause I was assuming that's what they kind of wanted to see was like some fun, like trendy dances. I told my agent, I said, you know what? I love you, but I hate you. Okay. You have been playing me hard these last few days. She thinks I'm hilarious, but it really wasn't that funny. And everybody's been asking me like, oh, put the video on your social media so we can see. No. You guys aren't going to see that. Candace Owens is amazing. She is amazing. Running for office. So I always get, you guys are so funny. So I always get, you should run for president. You guys listen, okay? I know Brandon gets this too. And I know that Brandon probably wants to run for like local office eventually in his state. But, you know, a great personality and somebody who comments good on things doesn't make a good president. I could never do the job that President Trump does. Okay. I could never be that person. Number one, I'm so petty. Like the restraint that if y'all think he offends people with what he says, just wait if I was president in my tweets. Okay. These people would want me impeached immediately with the stuff I would say. Because I literally have no filter. So yeah, I appreciate that though. That would be amazing. Okay. 2 women, okay, president and vice president or whatever. Yeah, president and vice president. That would be amazing. Like if I'm alive during that day, but it's gotta be a good woman. Like she's gotta be like woman on the outside and super lion tigress on the inside, okay? Savage. But Candace definitely has that. Hey, Ken. I love the debate. I thought the debate was amazing. How did you meet Brandon? Okay, so that's a good story. Okay, so in my quest, okay, to live my true self. So it's funny. It started with Candace. All of a sudden on my YouTube, I don't remember if it was like the George Floyd thing or what it was, but all of a sudden on my YouTube, I started getting these suggested videos to watch Candace Owens. And I was like, who is this Pickles? My dog is eating the poop out of the cat litter. Anyways, no. So I start watching her videos, okay? I knew who she was. I'm sorry, I'm going to bring my dog up here. I knew who she was, okay, but I didn't like really know much about her. So when I started watching those Candace videos, then of course YouTube started suggesting to me like people to watch, and Brandon came up. So I started watching Brandon's videos, fell in love with him. I was like obsessed. I was like, how did he get started? I knew he used to be a police officer. So like I literally went back to like the beginning of his YouTube to kind of see what his journey was. And I was amazed at how quickly he went from being a police officer. One video of him just expressing his feelings about the Colin Kaepernick situation with the kneeling went viral. I think he had like the most views ever in YouTube history on that video. So I started following him and Corinne on Instagram, and Corinne would often repost, some of the stuff that I would post. And at that time I had a YouTube, but it was nothing talking about, political views or anything, because I had always kind of kept that stuff to myself. So one day, I don't remember what Corinne, or I was watching Brandon's Thursday live that he did with ABL and Derek Radonico. And I was like, I want to be on this show. And they happened to be talking and they were like, we need to get other people on the show. We need to get other people on the show. So I emailed Corinne and I was like, hey, Corinne, I saw Derek mention that like he would like to get other people, on the show. Like, I don't really have much of a platform, but I do have a lot to talk about. I mean, you see what I post. Like, I would love to come on the show. And they're 2 of the most genuine, nicest people, okay, you guys will ever meet. And she writes me back and she's like, yeah, we'll email you. We'll set something up. And like the next week, I get an email and she's like, how does this Thursday sound? And I was like, what? You want me to go on the show like this Thursday? So I got on the show, did the Thursday show. It was so much fun. It was so amazing. I was so nervous, and you guys can go watch it on Brandon's channel. I don't remember like what month it was in, but just scroll through and you'll see my face. I think I had short hair. And so, yeah, I did the show and I was like hooked, you guys. I was like, this is it. I'm not holding back anymore. I'm going to express everything I feel. And, with the climate, the political climate and the way everything was in general, I was just done with being silent. I wasn't going to hide my views anymore. I don't care like who thought what of me. And I just felt this in me to like, just go for this. Like something in me was just telling me like, just do it. Make a video, just do it. So I did. And a couple of videos in, I did my video on Burnell. I'm going past the how I met Brandon, but that's how I met Brandon. But then I did my video on Burnell Trammell, the Black man who was shot in front of his place of business in Milwaukee. I did a video on that. And Fox News played my video on Fox News, okay? And then my channel took off. Like, I literally went from like having 800 subscribers to having like 3,000 within minutes, okay? Like, because everybody was following me because they like put my channel, tagged my channel in there. Everybody was following me and it was like crazy. And so I capitalized on that moment and it was just like, okay, now I need to go hard. Now I need to start making videos. People are paying attention to me. And I remember to get to the 800 subscribers that I had when I was like talking about my weight loss on on my channel before, which is what my channel was about. It was about weight loss. It was about my hysterectomy. It was about women's issues more than like physical issues related to weight loss and related to, I had fibroids. It was like a totally different angle. Okay. I had like 800 followers and it took me like 7 years to get those 800 followers. 7 years. Okay. Within minutes, I was like quadrupling that. So I thank Brandon for that because Brandon and Candace, because they inspired me. They were my inspiration. They were like the thing that like made me want to go for it and made me want to speak my truth. And then the rest is history. I did the rest of the work after that, so, and I work really hard. I do work really hard. So that's the story in a nutshell. You should get other people on the show, on Brandon's show or on my show. I have no control over Brandon's show. I definitely want to do more like having people on my show, and people have suggested that I start doing like, a similar thing that Brandon does. I mean, this is only my second time going live. But I don't feel like I'm there yet. I don't feel like I'm ready for that just yet. Not that I'm scared, but I want to get my followers up a little bit more, get to a point where I have an even bigger platform than I have. And even Brandon, like he was almost close to 1 million followers before he started doing his Thursday show. So it's a process, guys. It's a process. I don't want to rush it. I don't want to, shortcut things. So I'm working towards that. Would love your guys' help by sharing my channel, liking my videos, subscribing to things, because those help me a whole lot. I'm actually working now to get a website up because God is good. And one of my followers on here actually reached out to help me, which I'm so grateful for. Thank you so much, DA, for the $5 super chat. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. I love you. Love you guys all. So yeah, she's reached out to me to help me. Like it was just a godsend. And I really believe that that's how things happen. God answers your prayers. All you have to do is put it out there that you want it and then get ready to receive it. Okay. So, yeah, that's happening. So there are things going on. There's also another big project that I'm working on. I got an offer to be a Monday through Friday commentator for an affiliate of a major news network. I'm not going to say right now because I don't know if I can say, but that's why I've now moved here, because they've now sent me all this equipment so that I can live stream my spot that I'm going to have Monday through Friday. So when I have all that information, I will be giving you guys that. My producer was actually supposed to come out this week to set up the studio equipment, which I literally have like surrounding me. Like I have all the studio equipment. But he got sick, didn't have COVID, but he got sick and had to push back the trip. So he's going to come back either at the end of this month or beginning of next month. So I'm super, super excited for that. That is a huge, huge opportunity. prior to me doing this, and you guys can look this up, but I was on a web talk show called Mouthful. And that was also a very pivotal moment in my life because it was my first taste, of being on a panel of people and talking. Coincidentally enough, I was the only non-African American person on the cast. I was, the Latina person. But it was a great experience. I met some really great people. I got a chance to kind of like flex my voice a little and understand what it was and what I did, what I wanted and what I didn't want. And you only get that by trial and error. You only get that by doing things and trying things and kind of like experimenting. So, that was another step in my process prior to Brandon that got me to where I was. So yeah, I love that. I love that part of my story. And you know what? Even though I'm no longer on that show, the episodes are still up there, so you can go see them. But you know what's funny? This is why it's so important to have people in your life that will tell you the truth. A friend of mine said to me, "You do great on the show. You're everybody's favorite on the show." And I was. Everybody loved me on the show. I always got great reviews. Our producer always said, "People love you. People love you on the show." But my friend would tell me, "I can tell you're holding back. I can tell you're not being 100% you." And when he said that to me, it really made me think, like, am I being honest with myself? Am I being 100% me? And I realized I wasn't. And he was right. I was holding my voice back because I was trying to be sensitive to 3 other people. Doug, if you want to super chat, there should be a little $sign in the chat area. If you just click on that, that will give you the super chat option. And thank you in advance if anybody wants to super chat. So there's like a little, I think where the little emoji, like right where you go to type a comment. So anyways, I was holding back because I was on a panel of 3 other African-American people. And while I felt comfortable talking with them, there were moments where I didn't want to say something that wasn't PC. Some of the stuff that I would say now. And I'll tell you, when I started to voice how I really felt, and I kind of started going off in my own direction, I didn't get support from everybody. And that show was supposed to be about breaking the barriers of conversations just being constructed around one type of opinion. And the whole premise of the show was to be different, from like the Views and the Reels and the Ellen Show or whatever. We talked about a lot of different things, but it just wasn't that. Like, we never really got there. So that's why I started my own thing, because I was like, why am I waiting on somebody else to do it? I was scared to be honest in front of them. Yeah, I was scared. And it is weird because, like, I'm Hispanic. I understand the struggle sometimes. But we talked about a lot of Black issues. Okay. And, while I had an opinion about it, I really feel like we limited our audience because I felt like the show was marketed to African Americans. Like, our fan base was primarily African American. Like, I felt like the show scared people who were not African American away, if that makes sense. So, and sometimes it can be hard for people, like they feel comfortable in that space, they feel comfortable talking to people who relate to them. And I feel like I can relate to everybody, Stone, I couldn't deal with the hate and trolls. I could never do a channel. I would be crying all the time. So let me put your mind at ease. Here's how I feel about it. If you are being you, and I don't know if you believe in God or not, okay? But if you are being you and you're being true to yourself, I feel like that puts a force field around you, because I personally have not had to deal with that a whole lot. I mean, yes, I have people in my comments, but thankfully YouTube has a feature where you can just not even see comments that are hateful or have keywords in them that maybe you don't want to see. So I don't even see those comments if they're coming through. But if by chance somebody gets through, and, I get people all the time to say, you're stupid for having this opinion, or you're racist, I don't care because I know who I am. So that's all that really matters. That's all that really matters to me. Kenneth didn't scare me. I love listening to good people. Kenneth, did you watch Mouthful? Is there anybody on here that watched me when I was on Mouthful? I love your show because President Trump is fighting for us and people like you are the proof that he's not alone in this war. Exactly. That's why we're doing it. We're not just doing it for that, but we're doing it because I think historically the Republican Party has always been seen as this like really like conservative, uptight, like button-up group, you know, like of people over 60. And there's so many young people. I mean, like you guys see like CJ Pearson, who I've been following him since I think he was like 8 years old and he was talking about politics. And, you know, he was an inspiration to me as well. I mean, he was a young Black man with these conservative views. And it was just amazing to see somebody who had that type of confidence. So there's so many of us out there. And like we talked about it on the show when I was on the show with Brandon and Derek, that like it would be so cool if Trump would have thought about it beforehand, but to have like this big cool tour bus like driving around town, you know, with our faces, like, you know, with people's faces that people follow, like the Brandons and the Dereks and the ABLs. I would never like put myself in their category. I'm not at their level, but the Candaces, you know, Bryson Gray, you know, just having their face plastered across this bus and them going from town to town to town, really speaking to a younger group of people about Trump, you know, and about the conservative platform and really educating people about it. So I really wish he would have thought about that. But, you know, if he's in office again, another 4 years, even though as of right now, the law says he can't serve another term after that, it would still be cool to like get the hype up for the next, you know, conservative Republican candidate that comes into office to make sure that we're securing that younger vote ahead of time. Yes, I do know people can screen record my content and use it. I honestly don't mind if they screen record and use my content as long as they tag me in it. I actually had somebody the other day tag me in a video that they did like a reaction video to my video. And it was complimentary. You know, I think that's really sweet. So as long as they tag me and they give me credit, I don't mind. So Kara, what he means is like, I mean, I know like on my Google laptop and on my Apple iPhone, like if I'm watching like a Brandon video on YouTube, I can like screen record his entire thing and repost it to my channel. And if I'm, you know, at a point where you can get monetization, you can do that. So, I mean, obviously you can't record, you know, things from like CNN, Fox or whatever, like major networks, because they won't monetize you for that stuff. But like, let's just say, oh, like I'll give you an example. Like on my channel, there was a guy, a professor that did a speech on why it was important to vote for Trump. So I screen recorded that. I tried to find the guy to give him credit, but he didn't have any type of social media. But I posted that on my channel and I got full monetization for that. It's not my content. I wasn't anywhere in the video, but I was reposting it. And that does happen quite a bit. Yeah, so I'm interested to hear how you guys got to my channel. Was it suggested views from Brandon or any of the other conservative folks that you guys watch? I'm interested to hear how people always come to my channel. I'm going to be working on a website, so I'm going to be talking about that in a video so you guys know. I miss Derek too. Oh, Douglas, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I really appreciate it. Like, you guys are so sweet to do that, and it's really important. It helps me to keep doing this so I don't have to go out and get a job at like Sonic. Because I'm not getting acting jobs right now. I miss Derek. I know he's doing big things. Yeah, so I don't even know what Derek's doing. I keep in contact with Derek. Him and I actually correspond with each other. But he's being really secretive about what he's doing. But Derek's kind of like that. But he seems to be doing big things because he's been posting some stuff that like is intriguing. But I know he's got something big up his sleeve, so maybe we'll hear soon. Maybe Derek's involved in like the whole laptop exposing scandal, because y'all know Derek is all about conspiracy. Like maybe QAnon offered him a full-time job. I don't know, but he is a great guy. And you know what I love too, you guys, is that Derek, Brandon, ABL, Jericho Green, another one I love. We're all so different, and I feel like we all attract a different type of fan base. I love all of them. If I had to pick a favorite, like I love them for different reasons. I love Brandon because of his faith, like his faith and his heart just melt me. ABL, there's something like so endearing about him. He's so smart. I love just the way he talks. I like love the way he films his videos. I love the words he uses. Jericho Green just cracks me up. I mean, he's very smart, knows what he's talking about, but he is hilarious. If you guys don't follow Jericho Green or any of these people that I'm mentioning, you got to go follow them. And then Derek, I love him and his little like intro music. And if you ever get in his comments, the ladies go crazy over his voice. Okay. That he's got like such a sexy bedroom voice. It's hilarious. So we all use our platforms, you know, to spread the same message, but in our own way. And I think that's so awesome. Yes, I will be careful of copyright strikes. So thank you for bringing that up, John. So you guys love when I like do these, like when I review the police cam videos and kind of take you guys step by step and give you my commentary. And people get so upset when I'm just like, okay, the video's in my description box and I don't show it. You have to understand, I'm not showing it for a reason, okay? When I show a video, understand that when I'm showing a video like that, or I'm showing clips from The View, or I'm showing clips from Fox or CNN or whatever, that immediately takes down my monetization, okay? I'm taking a hit in income to give you guys that information. So once in a while, I will make the call and I will say it's extremely important for me to get this message out the right way. You know, and I can see what you guys are clicking on and what you're not clicking on and how long you're spending on my videos. So sometimes I take the hit just to make sure I get the message out and the truth out, okay? It's not all about just getting that full monetization. I mean, it's nice when you can get it, but know this, okay? And I was telling somebody about this today. Whenever I make a video about Trump, okay, and it can be a video that's just me, I have nothing inserted in the video, no clips, nothing. It's just me. The fact that I hashtag Trump in my back office, you know, hashtags, if Trump is in the title, I am immediately demonetized for that. Crazy. So just know when your favorite YouTubers, Lord, my makeup is looking ratchet. Just know when your favorite YouTubers do videos about Trump, they are not getting paid well for those videos, but they believe in him so much that they are willing to put that video up. So just appreciate that a little bit more. Trying to read through these comments. Good damn morning, Americans. Don't you just live for that? I live for his intro. And then when he says, hit the subscribe button, because when you do, a liberal cries. So funny. I actually quoted that one time, like on a post, and like somebody was like, that's a little bit insensitive, don't you think, for somebody who preaches love and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm showing up in your guys' recommended. I love that. Before crashing, melatonin with ibuprofen chaser. What does your intro buffer music actually say? Okay, so the intro buffer music is actually like a standard stock intro that is offered in, I believe it's either in Thumbnail Maker or iMovie, which is where I want to get an Apple computer, but I have always edited my movies, my videos in iMovie. So they have a lot of stock stuff. So it's funny how people ask me like, what's the name of your intro song? I have no idea. All I know is it's a stock song. I do want to say it's in Thumbnail Maker. So like when you guys see my thumbnails, that's where I make my thumbnails, and then I move them over to iMovie. So I actually edit my videos in a few different and create like my videos in a few different platforms. So yeah, I'm happy to share any of that, by the way. If any of you guys are wanting to start your own platform, you know, to do something similar, I encourage you to do it. And if you ever want to reach out to me for information, I'm more than willing to share what I know with you, because I got help along the way, in addition to doing my own research and just trial and error. And thank God YouTube videos exist, because we get like a visual instruction, you know, with that. But nobody is my competition. Just know that. Okay. I'm my own competition. So if it's in your heart to do something like this and you need help getting started, or you just need a little bit of mentorship, I'm more than happy to tell you what I know to get you started. So please do not ever feel like you can't reach out and ask me. Do you think America should still have products made by China? I mean, as long as Trump can like make it, find a way to be able to make products economically here in the United States, I don't think we should have to rely on China for much of our products. The problem is they can be made so much more cheaply over there, and that's why it's always been. Me personally, I try not to ever buy. I've always been like that. I try not to ever buy anything in China, not because it's China, but because it's just poor quality. So. Every time a baby farts, an angel dies. What? Do you watch Cash or Forgiato Blows or Tina 40? I don't watch Cash or Tina 40, but I do love I think it's Forgiato Blows. I don't even know how to say it, but I love him. I love all his stuff that he does with Bryson and all like his Trump parade videos. I love it. He was like on one of my lives one day, and I was like, dude, it's on my bucket list to like, you know how he used that clip of Brandon talking? He was like giving a speech in like one of his songs that he just came out with. MAGA Gang, I think it was. He used Brandon. I was like, it's on my bucket list. You're going to use one of my videos one day. So I put it out there in the universe. And he was like, for sure. And I was like, really? I think he's going to use Candace next, actually. Let me see. What do you think Trump's 3 biggest accomplishments have been over the past 3 years? So number one, I would say that he has brought back family values and Christian values. Like for me, that's the biggest thing. Okay. And that's what conservative values are all about. He has really brought it back to those core biblical values. The other thing I think is, you know, the whole crackdown at the border and building the wall. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of that. I'm a fan of it. I used to live in San Diego, and I saw the effects of illegals being able to come across the border. So I'm a big fan of that. And then along with that, the child trafficking bust that he's done to, you know, break up these terrible, you know, groups that are stealing children and selling children for just sick purposes. I want to say that those are the top 3. And I really think those are the most important. And those 2 in particular, the immigration and the child sex trafficking, they go hand in hand, you know? So I really appreciate that if you really look at it, like all the stuff that he's done and he's accomplished and he still continues to fight for, really do connect. You know what I mean? Like he's not just trying to like throw darts at the wall and see what sticks. Like in a way, in a very obvious way, a lot of them really, really connect with each other. And it's like, I feel like at the end, you know, we're all going to see how the dots connect, you know, as Q says. Speaking of Q, okay, I don't know how many of you guys follow Liz Crokin. Has anybody heard from her or seen a video from her lately? Like, did y'all notice that she just kind of like fell off the face of the earth? I love that you guys are in my comments. This is like so much fun. Like for this being my second live stream, thank you guys for supporting me and staying on this long. And for those of you that have donated in the super chats, I wish I could remember. I remember it was Douglas, DA, and I can't remember the other person, but Y'all are my very first super chats ever. Okay? Ever. Like, that's major. Like, I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited. And I'm really big on charity, so I really have to figure out. I really want to set up like some type of charity to work with, and maybe it'll be like a suicide awareness charity, because that's so near and dear to my heart. Or childhood obesity is another big one to me. So I don't know, but I got to figure out something, because obviously the super chats go towards me being able to do this and work harder and produce more content for you guys. I kind of like would love to go out and start doing like street interviews, like Caitlin does on Liberty Hangout. I freaking love that. But do you see the security guards that she rolls with to go do those interviews? I'm gonna need a whole lot more super chats for that. That's further down the line, just joking. All right. What would you say to a Biden supporter who hasn't read Biden's policies? They just hate Trump. I always say, go read the not the Biden policy, but go read the Democratic platform and go read the Republican platform. The other thing I say is go watch Uncle Tom, the movie. By the way, going back to the Brandon story, that was the first time I met Brandon. After doing his show one time, the next email I get from Corinne is, hey, we're gonna be in Dallas for the Uncle Tom premiere. Would you like to come as our guest? You guys, I was like fangirling like crazy. And I went out there like expecting like, okay, we're going to go to this premiere and just kind of like sit in the back. Cause I've been to premieres before, but I figured like we're going to be up in the back seats or whatever. No. I was sitting next to Corinne. I was sitting next to Brandon. I was sitting next to Larry Elder, Alan West. I was like, who am I right now? Like, how did this happen? I remember like looking at my husband and going, this is crazy. Like that we're sitting here with these people, like these legends. Crazy, y'all. Crazy. I was so blessed. Like I said, I don't think Brandon or Corinne know, but I will tell you this, like when I finally got to talk to Brandon and like tell him kind of like what I told you guys about how my story kind of started, and how I got to that point, I was so embarrassed, like mortified, because I just took one look at Brandon and I started crying. I was like, you don't know how much you mean to me. Like you would think I was meaning Michael Jackson. Okay. And he was just looking at me like, this girl crazy. Maybe Liz has a new channel. I don't know, but I am wondering what's going on with her. Cause she was always like worried about her safety, you guys. She was always talking about how she had to move all the time because she was getting threats. She's the one, if you guys don't know who Liz Crokin is, if you watch the Jeffrey Epstein Netflix, and I know some of you guys have canceled Netflix. If you watch that on Netflix, she's the one that broke open the whole child sex trafficking, Jeffrey Epstein dilemma. She's the reporter. I think she used to work for the New York Post, that broke that open. And ever since then, she's been speaking out against it. She is like highly in tune with Q and everything that they're about. But she talks about how her being so outspoken has been very dangerous for her life. So I was just wondering if anybody had heard. Yeah, I agree, Kenneth. People need to stop letting their kids drink soda. In general, high fructose corn syrup, no good. If your kids have behavioral issues, concentration issues, school issues, eliminate high fructose corn syrup. Fixes a lot. My daughter went through it, and she actually had a tutor whose husband was a brain surgeon. And he told us that the effects on your brain of high fructose corn syrup are damaging, like for life. So just know. DA, I feel very special to be one of your first. I changed my name to DA because one guy I gave to kept calling me Denise instead of Dennis. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. I want to watch Uncle Tom and cannot afford it at this time. Okay, Stone, send me a DM. You DM me on Instagram all the time. Send me a DM. I'll fix that for you. Love Liberty Hangout. Me too. I love Caitlin. She's amazing. Dude, I wonder, like, well, I mean, in Texas, like, I don't think she's gonna like upset many people, like at SMU or TCU. I don't know. Maybe in Austin. Do I do any other hobbies besides making videos for YouTube? I'm an actress and I'm a model. My kids are also actors. We're all under the same agent. But this is my full-time job. This is my full-time job. What are your thoughts on SEAL Team 6? Like you're talking about in regards to the whole Obama bin Laden's not really dead thing. I'm confused about that because I saw that one guy come out and talk about how the whistleblower was wrong and they really did kill Obama. But then I thought, didn't some of the people from SEAL Team 6 die? Like, didn't they all die? So I'm really confused about that. Hi, Jay. Do you speak Spanish? Sí, hablo español. That's a staple in my house. My parents, so my dad is from Puerto Rico and my mom is from Argentina, or Paraguay. She's actually Paraguayan, but her mom and dad are from Argentina. So yeah, I grew up speaking Spanish in my house. My parents still speak Spanish to me. Unfortunately, my children refuse to speak Spanish to me, but I speak Spanish to them, whether they like it or not. Okay. Man, y'all are still going strong at 44 on here. Y'all are the best. I'm trying to go back on these comments. Thank you, Douglas, for the compliment. Jan, I've got some stuff you may want to use, music editing. Yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to email me, by the way, my email is letstalkdarling@gmail.com, or you can message me on Instagram at letstalkdarling. I'm the same handle on Parler, on Wimkin. Parler and Wimkin are two uncensored conservative type platforms. Wimkin is like Facebook. Parler is more like Twitter. But I'm on Twitter. I'm on Wimkin. I'm on Instagram. I have an account on Facebook, but I don't do anything on there. Some of you guys have found me on Facebook, but I had to have a Facebook account for the type of Instagram account I have. So yeah, follow me on those things as well. But Jan, if you want to send me an email, it's letstalkdarling@gmail.com. And just put in like the subject, this is Jan. What else? What else you guys want to know? I like these questions. I like answering y'all's questions. Bye, Payam. I hope I'm saying your name right. Bye. Thank you for joining tonight. The strongest weapons of the United States of America is the American patriot. Oh, the other thing I love that Trump did is the gun rights. I'm a huge gun rights advocate. My family is as well. We believe in that. We're pro-guns. We don't think there should be any restrictions around guns. Not saying that individual private store owners can't have their own restrictions, but I don't think the government should tell us what to do. I agree. Hey, you know what? Listen, first of all, that debate moderator I felt was gorgeous. Okay. She wasn't terrible in my eyes. I mean, I feel like Chris Wallace was a complete disaster. The one that did the vice presidential debate was a complete disaster. This chick wasn't that bad. She was a beautiful woman, number one. Number two, she did a much better job than the other two. So I'm not hating on her too much. You think Biden would donate his paycheck like Mr. Trump does if he were to win? No. Trump is the only one that's ever done that. Actually, there might have been a president way back. I don't remember who did that, but I think Trump has been the only president recently that we've had, like in the last couple of terms, that has done that. And you guys may not know this, but his kids that work in his administration also donate their paychecks. His wife donates her paycheck. None of them take a salary. None of them, which I think is hilarious that they make this whole tax situation a big issue. Never once do they ever talk about the fact that none of them take a salary. Am I unfrozen now? I'm sorry, guys. I have never heard of the lady tonight either. But she is a huge, like, she's extremely liberal, extremely democratic. Hunter wouldn't let him. Yeah, no, he needs that. He needs to, you know, up his nose. Hey, you know what? Here's the thing. I'm not hating on somebody for having a drug habit. It's terrible, okay? But that doesn't excuse your actions. Not at all. And not that the fact that you did it, putting the American people's safety at risk. Yeah, Ross Perot would have been one that he could have done it because he is a self-made man. He would have been very similar to Trump. But, you know, I don't think he has I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he has the same balls as Trump. You know what I mean? Trump's got a pair for sure. I've cleared frozen status. Thank you. Man, now I know why Brandon does lives all the time, because it's just much easier. Like, there's no editing involved. So somebody asked me a question one time. They were like, how do you film your videos? How long does it take? Okay, so this is how it goes. So my analytics tell me that you guys love when I drop videos Wednesdays around 6 o'clock or Thursdays. Those are like my hot days. So the way my day-to-day goes is I get up in the morning, get my cup of coffee, and I start watching news. I start watching Fox. I start watching CNN. And I watch it on YouTube. I don't sit there on the TV because that just takes too long. So I start watching news. I'll catch ADL's videos because he usually posts in the morning. I'll catch Jericho in the morning. And that's just to kind of stimulate my juices and my thoughts and all this other stuff. Then I'll head on over to the cheesy, worthless talk shows and see what they're saying. So I spend a good majority of my morning, we're talking like maybe 4 hours of just watching content, reading. I read a lot of different newspaper articles or, you know, online blogs, a lot of independent stuff, get in the comments of posts that I see that interest me. And then I'm taking notes constantly, and I have like a file on my phone where I'm always like jotting down ideas on videos. And then when I kind of like narrow it down to like, you know, if it's still on my mind after a day, I'll make a video, unless it's like a really big topic, and then I'll like quickly pull it together and do a video. But generally I can film about 3 videos with editing, uploading time. That part doesn't take me a long time. Like I can do that in like 2 hours, 3 videos, no problem. The time is in the research and fact checking everything and, you know, doing my homework. Do you watch Steven Crowder? I watch some of his stuff on YouTube. I don't watch his like show on TV or anything like that, but I do watch his YouTube stuff. And yes, I watch The View. I watch The Real, again, because it's my job to kind of stay informed and kind of hear what people are being told, or people are kind of taking in out there. So oftentimes my husband's like, I can't believe you listen to this stuff. And I'm like, I got to do it. You know, I got to hear it for everybody. And I, you know, will do the same thing with CNN, even though they're a bunch of liars, but you got to know what's going on. But YouTube still has commercials just like TV. So yes, they do. I actually pay to not have commercials. So I have like a special YouTube subscription that minimizes commercials for me. So I don't see commercials, which is nice. It's kind of like when you have Pandora and you pay to like not get commercials, or you can have like unlimited skips. So I have that. And if it's what you primarily get your information from, it's well worth it. I actually don't mind watching commercials like for people that I really love, like Brandon or ABL, because that's how we get paid. It's not all how we get paid. I mean, it's not the only way we get paid, but so when we upload a video, immediately YouTube will notify their advertisers, and the advertisers just start placing ads on our videos. So like you guys have told me that I even have Biden ads on my videos, which is hilarious. But when you get those videos and you see that, you can skip in 5 seconds, which you can perfectly, you know, feel free to do. But the longer you stay engaged through the ad, if you click on anything in the ad, that's more revenue that that particular YouTuber is making. If you buy anything from clicking on that ad, that's more revenue that they make. So just know that's how your favorite, YouTuber gets paid, is those ads that you see. My husband skips the ads. And I'm like, don't skip the ads. You're taking money away from me. Oh. Don't I ever sleep? Yes, I do sleep. Holy cow, it's this late? Man, I didn't even realize. I slept actually a little bit later today because I didn't sleep very well last night. And I had a hard time, so I slept in a little bit this morning. But I was supposed to film today, but I totally forgot the debates were on. And I did not film what I wanted to film today. So yeah, I got to do that tomorrow. You guys are funny. All right. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions for me, okay, by a show of hands, who would like me to do more live chats? Also, tell me, while I have you here, tell me what kind of videos do I do that you guys like? The funny ones, the serious ones, the police cam reviews. What do you guys like more? You bring my water? You're like, I'm thirsty. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you guys want me to do more live chats? Okay, well, if you guys support me, show up for the live chats, engage with me, I will for sure keep doing this. Maybe I'll try to do it once a week. And I'll do it solo for a bit, and then we'll see if I build a little team of people that want to come on here. And, give the same platform that I was given when I started. How many people in here have had COVID? Me. Okay, so Gian says police cam reviews are good. Donut operator is super popular. You might want to reach out to him. Donut operator. Hold on. Let me take a pic. Let me take a pic of this so I don't. Okay. Ken, you're so sweet. Ken on here, he's in the chat. He always leaves like the sweetest comments on my video. Ken, you're a police officer, aren't you? Are you the one that's a police officer? He there's a few people that constantly leave like the sweetest comments. Like they're like, oh, you look so pretty today. I love your hair. You guys are so sweet. I appreciate that. Okay, so Sweet Rosa says, I would like non-political topics. I agree. Okay, I have to get non-political topics a little bit more, worked in there a little bit more. But it's hard because that's all that goes on. Like you can't open up your YouTube without hearing about something that relates some way back to politics. So I will try my best. Rosa, just for you. Oh, your parents had it, Kara. Yeah, it wasn't bad for me. Were your parents okay? Did they make it through? Yeah, if you're somebody that posts police cam videos, you're going to get blocked all the time. And you know what? Those people that do primarily that, like I give it to them because they're just there to simply get the truth out. Because if you are posting a full police cam video, they're not monetizing you at all. What type of music do you like? Okay, so it's probably easier to answer the type of music I don't like. I cannot, and I know I'm in Texas, but I cannot rock with country. The other one I can't really rock with is EDM. Number one, I'm too old for that. There's too much going on with EDM. Country, listen, I'm Puerto Rican. I need to move my hips, and I really feel like I can't do that to country music. So I like a lot of like classic rock. I love Queen. I don't like too rockish type of stuff. I like more classic rock. I love hip hop. I do love hip hop, but more like 90s hip hop. This new hip hop, this auto-tune hip hop is not it for me. But I love hip hop. I like everything. I love Sam Cooke. I'm an old soul like that. Motown. Okay, you're a correctional officer for the sheriff's department. I thought so. I thought you were. See, I remember. You guys probably don't think I pay that much attention. Oh yeah, R&B, love R&B. What type of dance do you do? I don't dance. Like I'm Puerto Rican. All we do is, the washing machine. We move our hips. I love salsa. Love listening to that. If you had merch, what would it be? Okay, so I have a list on my phone. I keep it here on my phone of shirts. I actually do have a Teespring store already, but YouTube requires me to have 10,000 followers before I can set up a Teespring store. So that's why I'm working on a website, because your girl can't wait on YouTube, okay? So that's soon to come out. But I have shirts. Let's see. Let me go to my little file list here, and I can kind of tell you what kind of shirts I have. A lot of the t-shirts I wear in my video. This was a new one that I came up with. It hasn't been created yet, but my son always jokes that, and this is terrible, but my son, who's a teenager, he's always like, if I want to get mom's attention, he always says to me, this would make an awesome YouTube video. So I wanted to do a shirt around that, but then I have a shirt. If I can't monetize it, I don't spend time thinking about it. 0 excuses, do the work. You are entitled to your own opinion, but not your own facts. Okay, that was a quote from Mike Pence. Disturb the perception of who people think you should be. Love that. Apparently, crime does pay. Love that. You are not in control of the outcome, but you have 100% control of the effort you put into it. Whack ass politics. Sin issue, not a skin issue. I have socialism distancing. Christ privilege is another shirt that I have. What else? I think I have another one. And then I have a Trump shirt, Trump 2020 shirt. But yeah, I mean, I want to get shirts out that kind of have like meanings beyond the politics end of it, because the election will come and go. But I get a lot of my ideas from watching these debates. Sometimes you hear some great one-liners in tonight's debate. I got to go back and listen to it just to get some more ideas for merch stuff. But I want to do just like t-shirts, like real simple stuff, like black t-shirts, red t-shirts, just clean colors, long sleeves, tank tops. I personally, like I have this shirt on right now. I personally wear a lot of these like really like loose fitting shirts, just kind of around the house. So I really like that. So look out for that to come. I'm not going to come out with a mask. I'll tell you that. You're sharp as a tack. Thank you. The washing machine. Yes, Selena, the washing machine. That's right. Big time Iron Maiden fan. My husband's an Iron Maiden fan. My son is an Iron Maiden fan. I think they went to an Iron Maiden concert. Like that type of stuff. I can't rock with it. So you're an actor. Have you ever considered doing skits in your videos with other guests? No. I mean, I try to stick with kind of like what my viewers like to see on my channel. I used to like take like outtakes from my auditions and like kind of put them together in a compilation, because they were just hilarious, and me doing take after take and screwing it up. But sometimes you got to be careful with that too, because you don't want a client like, hearing you get their script out or something like that. So no, I haven't really thought about that. Yes, I have to get to 10K followers. Now, I was well on my way to 10K followers until I got shadow banned, and that shadow ban carried over to YouTube. So I am really relying heavily on people like manually going to my channel, because YouTube is not really pushing my stuff as much as it used to. And I just actually saw a post from Donald Trump Jr. today that he is only getting 20% engagement on his posts. Okay. So I actually feel kind of honored, but I'm kind of annoyed at the same time, because I was like really gaining a lot of followers like weekly, and it's really slowed down. So I hope that fixes itself soon. But yeah, once I get to 10K followers, I'll be able to do a lot more stuff on my YouTube channel. But again, I'm not waiting. I'm trying to get my own site together so I can have a little bit more control. You want someone to have rubber bracelets, can't afford clothes. So yeah, I can do those as well. I know those are really, really popular. So thanks for that idea. I'll jot it down, actually, right now. Done. Thanks for that idea. Doug Face Gremlin. My favorite t-shirt says, assholes are assholes, your color is irrelevant. Okay, wait a minute. I gotta take a picture of that, Doug. Yeah, that was good. Yes, I know skits are a big production. Ken, my daughter actually used to do skits, and that was really fun, but that's just not my thing. I mean, I love to act, but I don't really want to do skits. Do I do cosplay in my acting? No. Improv, yes. No cosplay. You're hotter than Junior. See, I'm hot. Okay, but I'm hotter than him, but I'm like suffering over here with my, you guys, I used to post something on my Instagram and it would get 10,000 views within minutes. And now I'll be lucky to see 200 views in 48 hours. That's how much it's been affected. Do I have any tattoos? Okay. I have this tattoo that says love, and it's in my mom's handwriting because my mom my mom's still alive, but she used to always say, whatever you do, do it with love. Like when I was little, and she used to spell it out. So I remember that. And then I have a tattoo on my ankle of a lily, which is totally insignificant, means nothing. I actually got it to stop my husband from getting an expensive tattoo. I was like, I'll get a tattoo, just so he couldn't go and get an expensive tattoo. And I regret this because it doesn't really mean anything to me. And then on my shoulder, is it on this side? Yeah, right here. You really can't see it. But I have in Latin, everything happens for a reason. That me, my best friend, and my goddaughter all got together. So that's what I have. What is your plans for the election night? Party or cooking a special meal? So I'm really jealous because Brandon and ABL were talking about how they were going to try to get to Washington to be there for the election night. And I'm somehow going to try to finagle myself into that trip. Because I really would love to be in Washington. But yeah. Are there any topics you won't discuss? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I mean, prior to me talking about what I talk about, I talked about a lot of personal stuff, body-wise. So if you go way, way back on my YouTube channel, you can still see those videos. So what else? Man, I was trying to maybe let you guys go to sleep, but y'all are going strong over here. Y'all are going strong. What else? What else? What part of the country are you in? I'm in Dallas, Texas. Prior to that, I lived in Oceanside, California, which is close to San Diego. Prior to that, I lived in Chicago, south side of Chicago. That's where I was born. So, what else? I just made a fresh coffee. Oh, I love coffee. Coffee is my favorite thing, you guys. By the time 3 o'clock rolls around, I probably have 5 coffees. And I have my first 3 in the first 2 hours of me waking up. I am a big coffee person. It's probably not good for me, but I don't really drink alcohol. I don't do any recreational drugs. So Coffee is my addiction. I do like tea as well. Cuban coffee, cortadito. That's my favorite. Actually, I went to Whole Foods the other day, and they actually make a really good cortadito. They call it something else, but I was like, this is cortadito. And she was like, yeah. I'm like, so I go there and I ask for that. Okay. Well, you guys, I will definitely do another live. You guys convinced me to do another live. Thank you again to the 3 people that did a super chat donation. Any amount is appreciated. It was very, very kind of you. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. So I'll see what day is good for me to do a live stream. I don't want to cut into Brandon's live stream or ABL stuff because they're my homies. I support what they're doing, so I'm not trying to undercut them or take people away, or you guys have to choose between which one you want to go to, although I would choose theirs over mine any day. But yeah, I'll figure out what day. And I apparently have a late night crew here that likes to hang with me. So I'll figure out what day and time, and I'll start posting that information on my Instagram page. So if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, follow me there. Follow me Parlor. Follow me on Wimkin and on Twitter. On the tweeter. The tweeter, as my mom says. All right, you guys. Love you guys so much. Stay blessed. Pray for the president. We got this. Trump 2020 is in the bag. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.